Very soon after money was invented, it turned out that it likes to be counted. By the mid-15th century, some smart Italian guys came up with the accounting as we know it today. Some 500 years later, the 1C Enterprise platform finally made it possible to build your own accounting system without getting a degree in computer science first. So, let's see what 1C Enterprise has in store for us. The main metadata classes we use for accounting purposes in 1C Enterprise are charts of accounts and accounting registers. The chart of accounts is basically a catalog that we store all our accounts in. Besides our old friends reference, code, and description predefined attributes, we've got some chart of accounts specifics, namely the account type and off-balance fields we're going to look at later in this episode. As for the accounting register, we use it to store the financial transactions like purchases, sales, and stuff like that. Normally, each financial transaction writes at least 2 records into the accounting register. One record debiting an account, and the second one crediting another account. In real life, there will be more than 2 records more often than not, but the total debited amount has to be equal to the total credited one within each transaction. Each individual record of the accounting register refers to a specific account in the chart, has its record type, debit or credit, knows what amount has been debited or credited, and what document has posted this transaction. So, this is our diagram. Now, let's implement it in the flesh and see how it works. Okay, first things first. Creating the chart of accounts and changing its code length like this. These are the standard attributes hardwired into any account. Here we already have the reference, code, and description attributes, as well as the account type, not to be confused with the record type in the accounting register, and the off-balance flag. Looks like we have all we need here. Now to the accounting register. Creating a new one. Let's call it General Ledger, like this. And this is how we tell the register what chart of accounts to use. Let's see what we've got in the standard attributes department. And here are our account and record type attributes, as well as the recorder, which is nothing but a document the record belongs to. The only thing missing here is the amount field. So we need to add it to the register's resources like this. To start playing with the register, we also need a document that posts some data to it. So let's create a new document. Call it Business Transactions. And this is where we'll list all the records to be posted to the register. Let's see what attributes we need to fill out these register's fields. We need a reference to an account, so I'm adding it like this. Then we need a record type that tells the register what side of an account this record goes to, debit or credit. So let's create an enumeration. Storing these 2 values first, and then add the attribute of this type to the document's tabular section. And the last thing we need is the amount attribute. So here it goes. Now, let's post the document's records to the register. Running the wizard, telling it to take the records from this tabular section, mapping the register fields to the tabular section fields. And this is our posting event handler. It cycles through the tabular section lines, creates a new register record for every line, and fills out the register records attributes. The only thing is to be fixed here is this record type assignment. The wizard has set it to debit, but we might have different record type for each record. So I'm changing this piece of code like this. So now all the financial transactions we want will go to the register through this document. Now let's go here and look at the form I built behind the scenes to show how it all works. So, this is what I did. I took our chart of accounts, business transactions document, and both main and balance tables of the accumulation register, and read them all to the form using these 4 dynamic lists. Then I placed them on the form using groups in a way that chart of accounts and business transactions documents go to the left side of the form, and the main and balance tables of the accounting register go to the right. And this is what it looks like in the runtime. This is a new accounting subsystem, and this is the form we will play with. Now, let's create a couple of accounts and see how records posted to these accounts are processed by the accounting register depending on the account type and of balance flag. So, I'm creating the assets account, having the type active, and liabilities account, having the type passive. Now let's register a business transaction that debits the assets account with $5 and credits the liabilities one with the same amount of money. As soon as I post this document, these 2 records get copied to the main table of the accounting register, and the register automatically recalculates its balances. As you can see, besides the usual balance field, the accounting register also has separate debit and credit balances. Active accounts are expected to have a debit balance, and it will be displayed as is in the balance field. Passive accounts, on the other hand, are supposed to have a credit balance, and it gets displayed in the balance field with a minus sign. What will change if balances are negative? Well, not much really. If I credit the active account and debit the passive one, like this, all balances will stay put but will change their signs. Now, let's try this. I'm changing both accounts types to active/passive. Reposting the document. And now the negative balance is reported in the credit balance field, while the positive one went to the debit balance. Let's reverse the transaction like this. And again, the positive balance is reported on the debit side, and the negative one on the credit. So, here is a summary of how different types of account work. First of all, an account type is set on a chart of accounts and affects how an accounting register balance is calculated. More specifically, what is called active account in ONE-C Enterprise is also known as a debit account, or an account with a debit normal balance. Accounts of this type always show their balance on the debit side of accounting registers. Passive accounts are known as credit accounts, or account with credit normal balance. These guys always show their balance on the credit side of accounting registers. Active and passive accounts never swap the balance side, regardless of whether they're positive or negative. Unlike the active/passive accounts that have no normal balance and show the positive balances on the debit side, and the negative ones on the credit side. So, these are our account types. If I'd like to replace ONE-C active and passive terms with something else, this is what I would do. The system enumeration storing the account types lives here and is called account type. Let's remember this name and open the form we were playing with. This is the dynamic list of accounts. So I'm replacing the standard query with a slightly different version that compares account type to these enumeration values and maps them to whatever I want to call them. And let's also change the title of this field, like this. I would also need to fix this account form we use to edit accounts. Changing the title, turning on this flag to manually specify the list of values to choose from, and here's the list I want instead of the standard one. Let's see. This is our form, and these are account type names I got used to. Let's turn these two accounts back to debit and credit and see what this off-balance flag is good for. So here is the deal. In our first transaction, we debit the exact same amount we credit. We can add another account and create a transaction consisting of more than 2 records. And it will be fine as long as the sum of all debits is equal to the sum of all credits. What happens if I break the equation? This is what. The platform tracks the disbalance and doesn't let the transaction in. Okay. Now I'm clearing records posted by this transaction, checking these off-balance flags for all the accounts, and now, all of a sudden, I can post this unbalanced transaction, no problem. But if I make even one of the accounts on balance, the whole party won't go anywhere. So, these are different account types and how they work in 1C Enterprise.